And now it's time for another St. Louis 7, following an episode on OT with Oliver, wherever you get your podcast. This one had a ball. Talked to one of my favorites growing up, Zach Abron, when he retired for actually his eligibility was done at the University of Missouri. He was number one in touchdowns and rushing yards and carries. And you got to, check out the episode. Before we get into it, 7 St. Louis questions. Zach, what's your business? What's keeping you busy now?
Business is Abron's pressure washing.
Do you have a website?
I do. It's www.abronspressurewashing.com.
Nicely done. All right, first question. Where'd you go to high school?
Francis Howell.
And what you remember about attending Francis Howell?
I remember that we were the Vikings, and I left there and they retired my jersey.
Wow. Maybe Mizzou should think about doing such a thing.
Yes, sir. I left there as all-time leading rusher and touchdown holder as well.
Nicely done. Saturdays at Faroe, what do you remember the most?
Our victory over Nebraska.
Nice.
My senior year.
When you beat Nebraska, where did you go to celebrate?
Harpo's.
Was there goalposts involved? Were they bringing in the goalposts?
I actually was involved. I got a piece of that goalpost downstairs in my man cave, and we celebrated, and we had a great time that night. We had fun.
Because we talked about it on the podcast. I was actually there. I didn't go to Harpo's, but I had friends who went there, and you were amongst the fans? You were hanging out after the game?
Yeah, well, if you didn't go to Harpo's, man, oh my goodness.
I agree.
That's where the goalpost was at. That's where you could have got a piece of that goalpost. You didn't run on the field to tear it down, but you could have went there to go grab you a piece because they were cutting it there, man.
You live in Wentzville now. Where do you go to watch the Mizzou games?
Watch them at home, or I'll take a trip up to Columbia and catch a game or two.
When's the last time you went to Columbia?
2 weeks ago to Texas A&M.
Gotcha.
Gang.
Still keep in touch with Pinkel?
I do.
Good. As most former players should. I think he's a good guy.
He is very, very respected. He's a very good guy. He's definitely somebody that keeps a great connection with his players.
You notice my jersey doesn't say Mizzou, it says Missouri. I still got a thing about, it's Columbia, it's not Como, it's Missouri, it's not Mizzou. I got 10 years on you, and I don't mind the Como and the Mizzou. I just prefer the Columbia and the Missouri. You don't care.
Yes, sir. I am I'm part of the transition. I was Missouri,
right,
with Larry Smith, transition to Mizzou with Coach Pinkel. So I can rock both sides and be okay. I got Missouri gear up in the closet, and I got Mizzou gear as well. So the transition's there. I'm there on both sides. I can play both sides of the field.
Hey, Zach, when people come and visit you, where do you take them in Wentzville, St. Louis?
When my buddies come out here and visit, man, we try to go to Cyber's is a great little place. The Loop, St. Louis Loop. And if we really wanted to go out and maybe grab, it just depends if we're grabbing food or if we're grabbing drinks or whatnot. There's a couple of nice little spots down in downtown St. Charles that I like to go.
I like that historical St. Louis 5th Street thing. Always seems like, you could just, in about a 3-block radius, you could hit a whole bunch of places. And if the weather was nice, great place to hang out with a group.
Are you speaking about St. Charles, or are you talking about St. Louis?
St. Charles. You know, that
Yeah.
historic like
You said, yeah,
history.
you said
Not
St.
the
Louis. But
casino,
yeah,
dude. I'm not saying go
yeah,
rob.
right,
Huh?
yeah, right there, down that the new part of St. Charles, which they built out, man. It's a nice, it's pretty nice down there. They got a nice little taco place, and right next to the taco place, they got a nice little, it's like a little slushy type of drink place. Kind of reminds me of Trops, going to
Okay.
Trops in Columbia, if you remember.
I'm not a special person. I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, so it's OT with Oliver wherever you get your podcast. I had a blast talking with Zach Abron. If you want to listen to it, go to wherever you get your podcast or otwitholiver.com. Here's the last question that we ask everybody. You grew up around St. Louis, Wentzville, St. Charles, but the question is, what makes you proud to have grown up where you grew up and live where you now live?
Well, St. Louis holds a pretty special part just because it's the gateway. It's the arch, which is memorable. You got the St. Louis Cardinals. You got the Blues. All of them have been in some kind of sort of national championship. Then you got the University of Missouri that sits out in Columbia, and these are all just places that are monuments to Missouri. You know, when you look at Missouri, and if you go out west a little bit, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, and they hold a national championship as well. So, Missouri, man, is definitely is special. Columbia holds a special place in my heart, as well as St. Louis. This is where I'm born and raised, and so a lot of great things has happened here.
Enjoyed the time, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
All righty, thank you for having me.